Meeting is being recorded.
I want to welcome you to the Virginia Assembly Unincorporated. My name is Lorraine Ham. I am the speaker, and this is our educational moments. Today we have Stephen Just, our militia commander, and Bradley Odell. Sorry, brain went. Bradley Odell, our coordinator, and they are going to share on jurisdiction. Take her away.
Steve, thanks for being here today. Good to see you.
Well, thanks for having me, Brad.
First question for you. What is the goal of discussing jurisdiction?
Well, we want to express to the people that the United States Incorporated and the United States of America are not the same entities, and that a U.S. citizen and an American are not the same either. So hopefully through talking about some jurisdiction, we can explain the differences and why that is.
All right. In the last podcast, Randy talked about jurisdiction. Can you expound on that?
Right, yeah. So first, we have to talk about the three federal constitutions. Most people don't know that. We have the Constitution for the United States of America in 1787, and the U is small. That's the Federal Republic. Then we have a second constitution, the Constitution of the United States of America, 1789. That's a British territorial corporation. It's a democracy. It's a subcontractor of the Federal American Republic. And then we have a third constitution, which is the Constitution of the United States in 1791. And that's a Holy Roman Catholic Church municipal corporation. It's an oligarchy. So oligarchy means it's governed by the few. So they are also a subcontractor of the Federal Republic. Now, you can look at it this way if people understand businesses. The Federal Republic would be the prime contractor who hired two subcontractors, a British and a Holy Roman corporation. Those subcontractors are always subordinate to the prime. So the Holy Roman Municipal Corporation and the British Territorial Corporation are always subordinate to the Federal Republic. So we have three companies that provide enumerated services for the states, and their service contracts are called constitutions.
Isn't that interesting? So what are these constitutions, Steve?
Well, really what they are is their service agreements. So the people hired the Federal Republic, a contracting company. The terms of the contract gave them enumerated powers to provide for the state and the people. The Federal Republic deals with the land, which is business jurisdiction, and the soil, which deals with the people, the soil jurisdiction. The Republic operates under common law, which are courts for the living people. Now, the Federal Republic then hired a British corporation to help provide certain services. They were hired to provide protection to our fleet on the high seas and navigable inland waterways, the sea jurisdiction, commerce at sea. Then the Federal Republic also hired the Holy Roman Municipal Corporation, basically the Catholic Church, to provide postal services, both inland and at sea. They deal with import, they deal with export, ports, and sea lanes. They're the air jurisdiction, and they operate under Roman civil law, which is what this country is operating under right now, is Roman civil law. So again, the Federal Republic hired two foreign subcontracting corporations to provide services to the state. They are not the de jure government. De jure means real. The Federal Republic is our real form of governance.
Something I hear all the time, Steve, maybe you can give me some information on this. I hear we're a democracy all the time. What does that really mean?
Right. So you're right. You hear that all the time on the news, we're a democracy. So first of all, the only people that can run for president of the United States of America can only come from the Federal Republic, the American subcontractor. We keep hearing the word democracy. We're not. The British Territorial Corporation in DC and their instrumentalities, which franchise states, are a democracy. Again, we're a republic. Unfortunately, around the Civil War conflict, anyone running for the presidency from the Federal Republic side were attacked. Their houses were burned. They were killed, and a lot of them moved out west. So nobody from the American side ran for president. Since 1860, the Federal Republic, the true United States of America governance, went into abeyance, meaning temporary set aside, not in operation. The British Territorial and the Holy Roman Municipal Corporations have been running our country ever since. If you look at, if you look at the Commonwealth of Virginia, it's the upper and lowercase spelling. That's a British Territorial Corporation. That's what a U.S. citizen is. A U.S. citizen is a British territorial citizen, a federal employee. If you look at, say, the city of Richmond, that's spelled all capital letters, that's the Holy Roman Municipal Corporation, and you're a citizen of the United States. A true American is born on the soil of your state. You're a state national, a Virginian, because you were born on American soil. So in 1871, they made the permanent seat of a foreign controlled government in Washington, D.C. You can almost look at Washington, D.C. as a British embassy. All right. But our capital of the United States of America is still in Philadelphia. We just need to resurrect the republic governance, which is what we're doing.
So how does that apply to us as Americans, Steve?
Well, they got everybody believing that they're U.S. citizens. A U.S. citizen is considered a federal employee living in Washington, D.C. If you move out of Washington, D.C., then you're still a U.S. citizen, but you reside, you're a resident in another location. You're a resident of Richmond. You're a resident of that corporation. We're not residents. We're not residents of any corporation. We were born free with unalienable rights. So a U.S. citizen, because you think you're a U.S. citizen, a British territorial citizen, you got to pay the tax to the British territorial government. You vote for a British territorial president. Why? Because you're their corporate citizen. You're obligated to follow their statute, codes, and acts. If you believe you're a U.S. citizen, they have jurisdiction over you. People got to understand that corporations are legal fictions. And legal fictions can only make laws in the same capacity, meaning they can only make laws against other legal fictions. A U.S. citizen is a legal fiction. As a federal employee, a U.S. citizen, you're subject to those statutes. Only God can make laws for living men and women. So the brainwashing is so deep that everybody thinks that these foreign corporations have authority over you. Everyone thinks that all capital name, you can look at your license, you can look at your passport, you can look at your ID card, you can look at the name of the name of the car title. It's not, that name is not a living being. That name is a title of a trust that the government created from your sovereign name that your parents gave you. That name, that all capital name, is owned by the government. Everything in that all capital name belongs to the United States corporation. So what does it say if you look at the top of any of your certificates, it probably says the Commonwealth of Virginia or the city of Richmond or whatever city you're from. That's telling you who owns that property. The all capital name is a legal fiction and is not a living man or woman. As long as they have you believing that you're that all capital name, then they have authority over you. So we have two foreign controlled corporations operating on American soil, depriving American of their rights and their property. Because of the financial gain in those corporations, the U.S. citizens are paying the debts that these corporations own to the international bankers. And that's what's going on. They're using the American people who think they're U.S. citizens to be sureties to pay for the debts of the United States corporation to international bankers. That's what's going on. So you're voting in a British territorial democratic system, not for Americans. Why do you think they're going after the Second Amendment? Remember, these are foreign controlled corporations. They don't want Americans to defend themselves against these foreign so-called corporations. So they're trying to take our rights from us.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Steve. One last question. Speak about our American rights.
Sure. So, the federal Constitution has the Bill of Rights, and the Virginia Constitution has Declaration of Rights. These rights were put in the Constitution to tell these foreign corporations what the people's rights are, the rights that these corporations cannot infringe on. For example, the First Amendment, it's saying, hey, you foreign corporation, you cannot infringe on Americans' freedom of speech or religion. You look at the Second Amendment, American has the rights to bear arms. But what do you see they're doing? The Democratic corporation is trying to take away the rights from the Americans. This is a planned event. This is, don't think just as arbitrary. There's a purpose behind what they're doing. Mm-hmm. If you look at the Fourth Amendment, I'm not going to go through all of them, but Americans have the right to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizure. We're telling these foreign corporations, you can't come and illegally search us, illegally seize our property unless you have circumstances, evidence, you got a warrant, that's stuff like that. And you look at the Fifth Amendment, rights of persons not to be deprived of life, liberty, or property. Yet your house and your car titles are in the name of the Commonwealth of Virginia under the all capital name legal fiction, which isn't you.
Yeah.
But if you consider yourself a U.S. citizen, they look at you as a federal employee. You don't have all these rights. Only Americans do. Why do you think they're trying to take them away from us all the time? You look at Trump. Trump is the CEO of a foreign corporation. Now, at least he's standing up for America and Americans, but he's still the CEO of a foreign corporation. My point is this. They intermingle the American people and the U.S. citizen to make you believe they're the same. They're not. They intermingle the United States and the United States of America to believe that they're the same. They're not. And as long as the people don't know the truth, they will continue to manipulate you for their financial benefit. But, not going too long, let me just wrap this up, Brad. Because the people don't know our true history, they think the United States Inc., United States Corporation, and the United States of America are the same entities. They're not. You have to understand that the three constitutions and the three corporations. Here in Virginia, we're standing up the Republican form of governance promised in the Constitution. As with all other states across the country, this is Virginia state, unincorporated, not a British Commonwealth of Virginia, nor the state of Virginia. We're Virginia state. We have a British democracy and a Roman oligarchy that's running the country. And the people are wondering why they're getting away with all the stuff they're doing. Is because the people don't know the difference. And as long as they keep the people divided, whites against black, men against women, all these different divisions, they're doing their stuff in the background where the people don't know what's actually going on. The more, we need more people to understand our true history, to understand that these three corporations and their jurisdictions and how they affect that affect everybody's life. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to change our political status, showing that we're Americans and not U.S. citizens. You know, for Virginians, you can go to the virginiaassembly.land website to get more information about how to change your political status back to a state national and learn more about our true history.
That was awesome, Steve. Appreciate that. Thank you for the history lesson there for us.
Yeah, and again, it's my pleasure, and I'm looking forward to do more of these. So the people out there that don't know what's going on, we can kind of help them understand really true history and what's going on and what we have to do to take our country back. Brad, I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Brad and Steve. So I hope this helps you understand a little bit about the jurisdictions that we all live within and on. We will be continuing on Virginia to present educational tidbits so that you can become more informed. And as Steve said, visit the virginiaassembly.land and learn more. Thank you for joining us today.